joining me as we explore alchemy on the path of the seeker. Today we are going to cover distillation. In the last video, I talked about turning grapes into wine. Here is where the fermented fruit becomes purified through boiling and condensation. In this process, alchemists believe the spirit of the substance is released. In our case, it's our mind that is purified instead of crushed fermented grapes. We are releasing our spirit from the constructed paradigm that we built to understand the world, including the ego. The way that we do this, of course, is through meditation. We've already had the main personality construct demolished in the previous steps, but here we start to release additional beliefs or blockages. The symbol is the Almbeck. An Almbeck is a hood that fits over boiling liquids and sends the condensed vapors through a hose into a container where it is collected. The emerald tablet phrase for this step is, it rises from the earth to heaven and descends to earth again. After repeated distillation, the result is a concentrated fluid alchemists call the mother stone. To make sure that no traces of imperfection remain, the product of fermentation must undergo repeated distillation before it can be reborn permanently on a higher level. For personal distillation, many introspective techniques can be used, but meditation, in all of its forms, is the best. I will attach 2 videos I've done with recommendations on this subject and a blog post I wrote about meditation in the description box below. A person who has a distilled mind is extremely peaceful despite outer circumstances, and they have the ability to concentrate and focus on one thing. This one-pointedness is important. It's represented by the white rose in the Fool card, and it is essential during the alchemical transformational process. Paul Foster Case describes distillation as the process which reduces all solid bodies in man's experiences into their elemental water. Meditation, Paul Foster Case explains later, is a cosmic process. When we meditate, we merely enter into a stream of activity that is always continuing. The Buddhist tradition has a similar description. Stream entry is called sotapanna. This is considered the first level of the 4 levels of awakening. They say that when you achieve sotapanna within the next 7 lives, full awakening is guaranteed. I will leave a link to a really good article on the subject in the description box below. Paul Foster Case further explains, meditation reveals to man the secret of his own essential nature. This innermost essence is of all things ever. Man himself is the first matter, and the philosopher's stone. He then goes to explain that the life force, which he calls liquid gold, of the individual is lifted up along the spine. This is very much like the Hindu concept of the Kundalini awakening. Be wary in your searches on this subject. There are a lot of false, spiritually damaging, and misleading information on Kundalini awakening. This raising of the life force results in physical changes. The primary changes are in the metabolism. The metabolic fire increases and helps spreads the energetic life force throughout the body via the bloodstream. There is faster healing, a healthier appetite, expressed in a desire for healthier and primarily vegetarian food. Paul Foster Case quotes an alchemist named Ripley as saying, "Be moderate in what you eat and drink. Do not soften your belly, lest you quench your heart too soon." Now, even 2 years ago, I would tell you that this seems like a bunch of nonsense. I changed my diet about 2 years ago. I have to admit that what Paul Foster Case said about the metabolism is 100% accurate to my experience, even though I never sought for that particular effect. Thank you, brave soul, for joining me on the path of the seeker. May you find joy and peace on your unique journey.